All right, thank you guys. Aston Villa takes on Wolverhampton, and that's going to be a 7:30 a.m. Eastern kickoff. The Wolves are a $1.25 favorite. Total's 2.5 juice to the under. The draw's plus 250. And if you like Aston in an upset, they're plus 360 for some money line cash. And following Thursday's sports wagering action, I'm 6-3 with a push in my last 10 dog of the day tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And that's a website where I sell really great sports picks subscriptions beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. Now, the extra daily pick is another one of those packages that I sell, as I'm also 19-7 in my last 26 picks in that membership as well. And that's good for 73% during that stretch. I also have a bunch of different, other great memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And if you just want to check out the website, maybe browse a little bit, check out my current record, link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Aston's winless in their last 8 straight matches. They lost to the likes of 17th place Bournemouth and 14th place Southampton during that span. They were also held scoreless in 3 of those contests. Now, Aston's currently tied with Bournemouth and West Ham for 17th place out of 20 teams in the EPL. They also rank dead last in the league in total goals allowed. They've won just 7 out of 31 total matches outright this season. And just for reference purposes with regard to the standings, Aston's 27 points on 27 points back, 27 points behind Liverpool, which is 59 total points behind the champions. So anyway, their opponents on the other side, this Wolverhampton squad, a little bit different story as they haven't lost a match in their last 5 straight. They're actually coming off a 1-0 shutout victory over Bournemouth, along with a 2-0 shutout victory over West Ham in their match before that. And ironically, coincidentally, those are the 2 teams that are tied with Aston for 17th place in the league. Thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, the Wolves have only lost 1 out of their last 10 and held their opponents scoreless in 7 of those contests. They're giving up just 0.6 goals per contest on average in their last 10. The Wolves are currently in 6th place, and they rank 5th in total goals allowed. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, Wolverhampton's last 4 straight stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, on the Aston side, 2 out of their last 3 also stayed under that number. Give me the Wolves minus 125 and the under 2.5 goals in that contest. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's international soccer action, international football action. But before we dive into some more free content here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that after Thursday's sports wagering action, I'm 6-3 with a push in my last 10 dog of the day premium plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, once again, that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. There's also a bunch of different great memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And if you decide to sign up, we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. Now, one of those packages on that site is called the Extra Daily Pick Tier Membership. It's only $2.99 through the end of the month, and I'm currently hitting at 19-7 my last 26 picks in that membership, and that's good for 73% during that span. I strongly, recommend you consider using the website for sports picks. A lot of good information. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on, and once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. With that said, let's go ahead and move on into the Spanish La Liga. I'm talking about Athletic Bilbao taking on Mallorca, and that's going to be an 8 a.m. Eastern kickoff. Athletic's the $2 favorite. Total's 2.5 juice to the under. The draw's plus 290. And if you like Mallorca to get the job done, they're plus $7 for some money line cash. Now, Mallorca's coming off a 2-0 shutout loss to Real Madrid. They're also winless in their last 4 straight, 0-3 with a draw during that short stretch of contests. They were shut out by Villarreal and FC Barcelona in that very span. They've also been victorious in just 1 out of their last 7, and that's going to include another shutout loss to Getafe during those contests. Now, this Mallorca team, they've averaged just half a goal per contest of scoring in their last 6 matches as well. They're currently in 18th place out of 20 total teams in Spanish La Liga. They've garnered themselves outright victories in just 7 out of 31 total matches this season. They also rank 16th in goals scored as well. They're averaging just 0.93 goals per contest. That's less than a goal per match. Mallorca has also struggled defensively as well, ranking dead last in the league in total goals allowed. Now, they're taking on an athletic squad who's lost just 1 out of their last 5 themselves. That includes a 1-0 shutout effort against Real Betis. They also smashed Valladolid by the final of 4-1 during that span as well. Athletics played very solid defensively this season. They've given up just 0.87 goals per contest on average for the season thus far, and they rank 3rd in the league in total goals allowed. Very good defensively. Now, total-wise, Athletics' last 2 straight stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. No real surprise there with how good they've played defensively. Meanwhile, Mallorca on the other side saw their last 3 straight stay under that number themselves. Give me Athletic Bilbao, -1, getting the job done on the goal line in the under 2.5 goals in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Celta Vigo squaring off against FC Barcelona, and that's going to be an 11 a.m. Eastern showdown. Barcelona's -162, totals 2.5 goals. The draw is currently +290, and if you like Celta Vigo in an upset, they're +450 for an outright victory. Now, Celta Vigo has been victorious in just 2 out of their last 6, and that includes a 1-0 shutout loss to Villarreal during that span. Celta's currently in 16th place out of 20 total teams in Spanish La Liga, garnering themselves outright victories in only 7 out of 31 total contests. Now, Celta's also struggled offensively this season, averaging less than a goal per contest. They rank 16th in total goals scored on the season. Now, this Celta squad, they are taking on a Barcelona club who hasn't lost a match in their last 5 straight themselves. They are coming fresh off a solid 1-0 shutout victory over a defensively sound Athletic Bilbao squad, along with a 1-0 shutout victory over 7th place Real Sociedad. As a matter of fact, this Barcelona squad hasn't given up a goal in their last 5 straight matches either. You just can't score against them. They're currently tied with Real Madrid with 68 total points at the top of the standings. They're 21-5 with 5 draws on the season. They also rank 1st in La Liga in scoring. They've actually scored 11 more goals than Real Madrid on the year. And speaking of the scoring, when it comes to the total in this one, Barcelona's last 3, ironically, actually stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. 6 out of their last 7 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the Celta side, they saw 6 out of their last 7 stay under the 2.5 themselves. So with all that said and done, give me FC Barcelona winning this one outright and the under 2.5 goals in that contest. All right, next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Osasuna taking on Legatus, and that'll be a 1:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Osasuna's the plus money favorite. They're +140 with the total at 1.5 goals. The draw is +195, and Legatus is +235 for a win. Now, Legatus is winless in their last 4 straight matches. They scored just 2 goals during that span. They've also been victorious in just 1 out of their last 9, and they were held scoreless in 5 of those contests. Legatus is currently in 2nd to last place out of 20 teams in Spanish La Liga. They've got just 25 total points on the season. They've also been victorious in only 5 out of 31 contests, and they rank dead last in total goals scored. They're averaging less than 0.75 goals per contest. They are taking on an Osasuna club who's coming off a solid 1-0 shutout victory over Alaves in their last outing themselves. Osasuna also shut out Espanyol 1-0 within their last handful of outings as well. Now, along with, they also played 7th place Real Society to a 1-1 draw as well. And, when it comes to the scoring in this one, we are looking at an Osasuna team who saw 3 out of their last 4 get over the total of 1.5 goals. No real surprise there. Meanwhile, on the Legatus side, 5 out of their last 6 got over that number themselves. So with all that said and done, give me Osasuna plus $1.40 and the over 1.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Atletico Madrid taking on Alaves, and that's going to be a 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Madrid's the heavy $3 favorite. Totals 2.5, juice to the under, believe it or not. The draw is plus 360, and if you like the underdogs in this one, Alaves is catching $11 for an outright victory. Now, Alaves is coming fresh off a 1-0 shutout loss to Osasuna in their last outing. They also got blasted by 16th place Celta Vigo by the final of 6-0. They've been victorious in just 1 out of their last 6, with all 3 of their losses coming by way of shutout during that span. Alaves averaged less than 0.67 goals per contest in their last 6 as well. Alaves is currently in the bottom half of the Spanish La Liga standings in 14th place. They've garnered outright victories in just 9 out of 31 matches. They also rank 15th in the league in total goals scored. Atletico Madrid, on the other side, is coming off a solid 1-0 shutout win over Levante in their last outing. They're also on a 3-match winning streak, all by way of shutout. And they haven't lost a match in their last 11 straight. Now, Athletics currently in 3rd place in the standings with a 14-4 record with 13 draws. They also rank 2nd in total goals allowed. They're giving up less than 0.71 goals per contest on the season. Now, total-wise, Atletico's last 2 straight stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, 3 out of their last 4 also stayed under that total. Meanwhile, on the Alaves side, 5 out of their last 6 stayed under the 2.5 themselves. Give me Atletico Madrid -1 and the under 2.5 goals in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be in the Italian Serie A, or as I've been corrected, the Italian Serie A. I'm talking about Brescia squaring off against Genoa, 11:15 a.m. East. Genoa's the plus money favorite. They're plus $1.35, total 2.5 flat. Draws plus 240, and if you like Brescia in an upset, they're plus 195. Brescia is winless in their last 13 straight. They were held scoreless in 5 of those outings. Brescia has also averaged less than 0.51 goals per contest in their last 8 as well. Needless to say, Brescia is currently in last place out of 20 teams in Italian Serie A or Italian Serie A. They've garnered themselves outright victories in just 4 out of 27 matches. Just for reference purposes, their 17 points in the standings is 49 points behind first place Juventus. So, yeah, big disparaging gap there. One more thing to add about this Brescia squad, they've really struggled to put the ball in the net. They actually rank 18th in total goals scored, averaging well under a goal a game. Meanwhile, on the Genoa side, on the other side of things, they dropped only 2 out of their last 7 contests themselves. They held their opponents scoreless in 3 of those matches and garnered themselves shutout victories over the likes of Cagliari and AC Milan. Now, total-wise, Genoa's last 4 straight got over the total of 2.5 goals. 7 out of their last 9 also got over that number. Meanwhile, on the Brescia side, 2 out of their last 4 got over the 2.5 themselves. Give me Genoa plus $1.35 and the over 2.5 in that contest. Our next and final matchup for this show, it is going to be Cagliari taking on Torino, and that's going to be a 1:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Cagliari's the plus money favorite at plus $1.50. Totals 2.5 juice to the under. The draw is plus 215. And if you like Torino getting the job done, they're plus $2 for an upset win. Now, Torino's been victorious in just 1 out of their last 9, and that includes shutout losses in 3 of those outings. Torino's averaged less than 0.67 goals per contest in their last 6. Torino's also currently in the bottom half of the Serie A standings in 13th place. They're 11 points behind 6th place Napoli in the standings. Torino's also struggled offensively this year, ranking 16th in total goals scored. They're taking on a Cagliari team who saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the total of 2.5 goals. 13 out of their last 18 also got over that number, a little bit bigger sample size there. Meanwhile, 6 out of Torino's last 9 on the other side of things got over the 2.5 themselves. Give me Cagliari plus $1.50 and the over 2.5 in that contest. All right, we do have some shout-outs. You know what? We're going to do shout-outs in the KBO video today. We'll do that in our down the line a little bit later today. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday or Saturday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.